In the heart of the endless desert, Rango sits alone by the flickering fire, his weary eyes staring into the flames as the night grows colder. The shadows stretch unnaturally long across the sand, moving like living creatures waiting to pounce. Every crackle of the fire feels heavier, as though the flames are warning him of something lurking close. The wind does not whisper tonight, it holds its breath, and Rango believes the fire will protect him from the darkness outside. But he does not yet know that the true danger is not out here. In the desert, the real terror is already waiting for him inside the dreams that are slowly pulling him under. Rango's eyelids grow heavier, his head tilting as the warmth of the fire lulls him into slumber. But as his eyes finally close, the desert begins to melt. The ground ripples like water. The fire's crackle deepens into a guttural growl, and the stars vanish from the sky above him. The heavens drip with red as though the sky itself is bleeding. The silence is broken by the sound of chains dragging somewhere far away. Dreams are doors, fragile and thin, but when you step into the wrong one, you enter a place where nightmares make the rules. And Rango has just crossed that door into the waiting jaws of Freddy Krueger. Rango awakens, but it is not the desert he knows. The sand beneath his feet is black as ash, and the sky above is blood red, with the moon cracked open like shattered glass. The air smells of smoke and iron, heavy with dread. The fire that once kept him safe is gone, replaced by burnt wooden crosses that jut out from the sand like gravestones. Shadows twist and crawl across the dunes, whispering his name in voices that are not his own. Every step he takes echoes like he is walking inside a hollow skull. The desert has transformed into a graveyard of forgotten souls, and Rango realizes with horror that this is no ordinary dream. This is Freddy's world. A sharp metallic screech cuts through the silence. The sound echoes across the desert like a knife tearing steel apart. From the shadows, a clawed glove drags across a rusted pipe that should not exist in this wasteland. Sparks burst into the air, lighting the twisted landscape. Then he steps out. The burned face, the fedora, the striped sweater, the grin carved wider than any smile should be. Freddy Krueger walks forward slowly, savoring every second, his claws twitching with hunger. He does not rush because he does not need to. This is his desert now. Here, fear has nowhere to hide, and he knows his prey cannot escape. Rango pulls out his revolver, hands trembling as he points it at the nightmare figure before him. Freddy only tilts his head, amused, before dragging his claw across the sand and sending a spray of sparks into the air. Rango fires a desperate shot, then another, but the bullets twist in midair, melting into black feathers that fall lifelessly to the ground. Freddy laughs, a sound that is not only heard, but felt inside the chest, vibrating through the bones. The clownish glee of a monster who knows there is no chance of defeat. Bullets are meaningless in a world of dreams, and Rango realizes that his weapons, his courage, even his very will, are nothing but toys in Freddy's hands. In a blink, the desert shatters and reforms into a long hallway of cracked mirrors stretching endlessly in every direction. Each mirror reflects Rango, but none of them look the same. In one, he is burned alive. In another, he lies bleeding, with the claw marks carved deep into his chest. In another, he is already buried in the sand. Rango spins, panicked, but Freddy is there inside the mirrors, walking between reflections like they are windows. His claws scrape across the glass, leaving bloody streaks as he laughs. The mirrors do not show truth or lies. They show Freddy's plan, the deaths he has prepared, and the hopelessness of a victim already caught in his game. Rango gasps as something pulls tight across his limbs from the sand. Razor-sharp wires burst upward, wrapping around his arms and legs. He jerks helplessly as his body is lifted from the ground. Like a marionette doll, Freddy raises his claw, smirking as he tugs at invisible strings, and Rango's body moves against his will. His legs twist unnaturally, his arms spread wide like a puppet show meant for demons. Each pull of the wires cuts deeper, the pain sharp enough to make him scream. Freddy drags him through the sand, laughing louder with each movement. In this world, every dreamer is nothing but a broken toy, and Freddy is the master puppeteer. Rango's eyes narrow. For a moment, his fear burns into something stronger. He bites down hard on one of the glowing wires, snapping it with his sharp chameleon teeth. Then another, then another. Freddy snarls as his control weakens. With a final pull of strength, Rango breaks free and stumbles forward, grabbing one of the burning wooden crosses planted in the sand. The flames roar brighter in his hands. As though fueled by his courage, he swings it with all his might, slamming it against Freddy's face. The fire scorches the nightmare's flesh, and for the first time, Freddy screams in rage. Rango realizes the truth: nightmares can bleed when faced with fire, and even fear itself can burn. The desert begins to tremble, and the sky above groans as cracks spread across its surface like glass under a hammer. Freddy roars in fury, and suddenly, there are dozens of him. His twisted grin multiplies, surrounding Rango from every direction. Each Freddy steps forward in unison, claws raised, laughter echoing through the air like a chorus of demons. Rango looks up, and far above the cracks in the red sky, he sees a faint glow. His campfire flickers like a star, a reminder of the real world. Every nightmare has an escape, every dream has a door. But to break free, he must shatter the cage that Freddy built. With a scream of defiance, Rango raises the burning cross high and slams it into the ground. The desert shatters like a giant mirror, fragments of black sand flying in all directions. Freddy's clones shriek as they are sucked into the abyss, his voice stretching into a roar of fury and fire. The ground splits beneath Rango's feet, and the void pulls everything down. But he leaps upward, clawing toward the faint glow of his campfire above. The light grows brighter, pulling him higher, until the dream crumbles beneath him and Freddy's scream fades into silence. For now, the nightmare is broken. Rango jolts awake by the campfire, his chest heaving as sweat pours down his scales. The desert looks normal once again. The stars return, the sand feels real, and the fire crackles softly as though nothing ever happened. He lets out a shaky laugh, relieved that it was only a dream. But then he looks down at his sheriff badge. Carved deep into the metal is a fresh claw mark, glowing faintly in the firelight. The desert wind blows cold, carrying with it a whisper of laughter that is not his own. Rango's relief fades into dread as he realizes the truth. Freddy Krueger does not vanish when you wake up. He waits patiently for the next time you close your eyes.